Hi everybody and welcome to the Army Showcase. The Army Showcase is where we feature different armies from different games for your pleasure. The army we will feature today is from the game De Bellis Antiquitatis 3.0. This is DBA3/2/74A Palmyren 260 to 271 AD. In this army you have the choices of 1. 4 Knight as your general. 2. 4 Knight. 1. 2 Light Horse. 2. 4 Bow. 2. 3 Bow or Siloy. And then you have a choice of 4 Blade or 4 Bow or Siloy or 3 Cav or 2 Light Horse. You also get a choice of 2 4 Blade and 1 for Auxiliar. The Palmyran A-list is the army of Septimus Odenathus, or probably more accurately, the army of the Palmyrene Kingdom, nominal vassal state of Rome, since it survived his death by a few years. I was actually very excited when I was getting ready to feature this army because of the rich and colourful history behind it. I get very excited when I get to feature an army that is not very popular but deserves to be. So, who are the Palmyrans? The Palmyran Empire is situated where modern-day Syria is. During the time of this army, the Palmyran Empire was already prosperous because it was on the Silk Road and it benefited from the wealth and success that Rome was having at the time. This army starts in 260 AD with the defeat and capture of the Roman Emperor Valerian at the Battle of Edessa by the Sassanid Emperor Shapur I. Also, the subsequent rebellion of Fulvius Macrianus and his sons Macrianus Minor and Quintus. At the time, Palmyra was ruled by King Odenathus. Odenathus at the time was Ras of Palmyra, which pretty much granted him full civil and military control over Palmyra. He was also a full Roman citizen of consular rank. Odenathus decided to remain loyal to Rome after the defeat and capture of Emperor Valerian by Shapur I. According to the common narrative, he gathered all his allies and all the legionnaires still royal to Rome, ambushed and defeated Shapur I right before Shapur I could cross the eastern side of the Euphrates. He also quelled the rebellion of Macrianus. In the following years, he launched a campaign that recovered all of the lands lost to the Sassanids since their invasion in 252 AD. He even besieged the Sassanid capital of Ctesiphon, but Germanic invasions in Bithynia in the north forced him to abandon the siege. His actions stabilized the eastern provinces of Rome and quite possibly saved the Roman Empire itself during the crisis of the 3rd century. He and his heir, Herodianus, was assassinated by persons unknown around 267 AD. Various theories, including agents of the Sassanids, agents of Rome's Emperor Gallienus, a family feud involving his cousin, and an attempted coup by the Palmyrian nobles and his wife Zenobia. He was succeeded by his 10-year-old son Vabilatus, and his wife Zenobia served as regent. Zenobia continued Odenathus' policy of being a nominal vassal state of the Roman Empire, but also conquered Egypt. Around 271 AD, the new emperor Aurelian, having pacified the west, marched on Palmyra. It was then that Zenobia declared herself empress of the Palmyrene Empire, and that's where the B-list begins. Which actually incidentally was the reason SL bought this army. He wanted to build Zenobia's army, but after research decided to build Odenathus' army instead. The miniatures seen here are a mixture of Essex Miniatures and Irregular Miniatures, SL bought the Essex DBA 2.2/2/74A Army Pack. He then added 2 4-blade, I think this was RO37 from Essex, 1 light horse and 1 silo element from Irregular Miniatures to bring it up to DBA 3.0. So why did you choose Irregular Miniatures? Well, Irregular sells individual 15mm minis, which is cost effective, but mainly because they are the only company that he knew that sold 15mm Zenobia on a camel, which he needed for the B-list. Hopefully we'll get to see the B-list at some point. The armies are predominantly dressed in blue and red, or dark brown according to SL's research. He painted most of the 4 bow and the cataphracts uniformly blue, with added detail to the 4 bow, since Palmyra was supposedly a very prosperous city, to represent the standing army. The rest are assumed to be allies or militia, so are painted with multiple colours. Ordinatus had some Roman legionnaires under his command, and these were painted accordingly with the decals from VVV. The link is in the description. The flag was made from label paper using a design found on the internet. This army is chock full of options and has a variety of sculpts and poses, which gives the army a very busy look. But using a small palette and having a strong concentration on a few colours, SL manages to unify the army under one single banner. This army is well researched and it shows in the final showcase. For me, the best part about painting and collecting a historical army, especially ancients, is the amount of research that goes into the hobby. You'll find hobbyists labouring over books and researching websites, looking for references on how to paint the army long before any painting is done. This will manifest itself on the tabletop when the army is being played with or when the army is being showcased. Facts and historical trivia, because of the research that goes into building these armies, become, I guess, part of the play experience. This is even more true when the army is not something as popular as perhaps the Roman army or well known like the Han army. So that's the army of Odenathus, Dux Romanorum, Restitutor Todius Orientis, Saviour of the East, and Kings of Kings. Part of the reason I do these videos is just to share the different overlooked armies that sometimes deserve a second look. You can help offer some encouragement with a like and a subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.